going to throw this out there. Who remembers when those currently in the Biden regime said the following?
But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
Frankly, I'm not going to trust the federal government's opinion. And I wouldn't recommend to New Yorkers based on the federal government's opinion.
I trust vaccines, I trust scientists, but I don't trust Donald Trump.
Okay, taking that into account, how about Beijing Biden saying this just days ago?
In the coming weeks, we will issue further guidance on what you can and cannot do once fully vaccinated. Because here's the point. If we do all this, if we do our part, if we do this together, by July the 4th, there's a good chance you, your families and friends will be able to get together in your backyard or in your neighborhood and have a cookout and a barbecue and celebrate Independence Day. That doesn't mean large events with lots of people together, but it does mean small groups will be able to get together.
All right, now that we've all had a refresher on all that, I think I'm quite comfortable in saying, Mr. President, I don't need your permission to have a cookout in my backyard with as many people as I damn well please. Tell your handlers that I've never needed any president's permission. Never have, never will. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me one more time for Things That Need to Be Said. For MRC TV, I'm Nick Kangadis. Before I get into it, please don't forget to subscribe to MRC TV's channel on Rumble. Who knows what the ever-changing algorithms of YouTube and Facebook will do to these and other videos, so follow us on a platform where we don't really have to worry about being censored. Now, on with the show. Folks, I know we've seen the clip of Biden, maybe, possibly, if you're good, promising all of us that we might be able to have Independence Day celebrations together. However, this brings up a couple of bigger points. One, I don't care who the president is, whether it's Biden or Trump or whoever else. I will celebrate this country's independence as I see fit. It's literally called Independence Day. Two, after a full year of slowing the spread, it's way past time to take our freedom back. The left can talk about the new normal or how many masks they want to wear or which mindless YouTubers Fauci did interviews with this week. It doesn't change the fact, and this is where the alarms are going to blare, triggering the algorithms on every platform this video might be on, but that science that they're always telling us to follow, yeah, it's telling us that this whole charade needed to end a long time ago, and certain parts of it should have never happened in the first place. Now, before I tell you about the science, it absolutely needs to be said, whether people of any political persuasion or social media fact checker like it or not, the coof was scary at first because we didn't know what it was. But it became nothing more than a political tool used to unseat a president. They knew all the things I'm about to tell you, and yet they held off on actually talking about any of it because they had an election to effect. Oh, and anyone else notice how the elitist media stopped talking about New York Governor Andrew Cuomo directly contributing to the deaths of over 15,000 people as a result of his nursing home policies? That's why they keep coming out with a new allegation of harassment, conveniently, against Cuomo every other day. Don't look at the genocide committed by the guy we propped up before the 2020 election as the savior of New York because we're all Cuomo-sexuals. Nope, look over here. Now, you want science? I'll give you science, baby birds. Keep in mind that the good people in social media don't want you to know any of what I'm about to tell you because the actual science doesn't fit their narratives. They absolutely squash the reach of 2 articles I wrote about scientists trying to tell us about, well, you know, science. Dr. Marty Makary, who is a professor at the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine and the Bloomberg School of Public Health, so, you know, he's kind of qualified, said back in February that coof cases are down 77% over the previous 6 weeks, and that, quote, if a medication slashed cases by 77%, we'd call it a miracle pill, unquote. He used an actual scientific method for what he was claiming. Quote, why is the number of cases plummeting much faster than experts predicted? In large part because natural immunity from prior infection is far more common than can be measured by testing. Testing has been capturing only from 10% to 25% of infections, depending on when during the pandemic someone got the virus. Applying a time-weighted case capture average of 1 in 6.5 to the cumulative 28 million confirmed cases would mean about 55% of Americans Americans have natural immunity. Now add people getting vaccinated. As of this week, 15% of Americans have received the vaccine, and the figure is rising fast. Former Food and Drug Commissioner Scott Gottlieb estimates 250 million doses will have been delivered to some 150 million people by the end of March, unquote. Heck, Outkick the Coverage founder Clay Travis testified in front of Congress earlier this week that his outlet shared a straightforward article on the Macari opinion piece I just quoted from. Not only was the reach of that article squashed, but Facebook put a misinformation notice on the post.
We wrote about that editorial opinion on our website. The article was not in any way complicated or difficult. In fact, our headline was straightforward. Johns Hopkins medical professional, herd immunity will be here by April. We published that on Facebook. Within a matter of days, we received a notification from Facebook with the downright Orwellian subject. Important notification, misinformation violation. Facebook told us that we were not allowed to share the opinion of a doctor on our website because they said it was a fact-check inaccuracy. It was, members of the subcommittee, an opinion of a reasoned and well-learned doctor. That is what the scientific method is. We argue about what the truth is in this country with an idea that we reach a better conclusion.
Folks, I'm not pulling these comments out of thin air or making them up as I go along. Unlike the Washington Post. They came directly from a more than qualified doctor who used science to not only back up what he was saying, but to directly contribute to the things he said. But that's not all. The CDC themselves reported a little over a week ago that the difference in effectiveness between wearing a mask and not wearing one doesn't even register above 2%. Now, they didn't use the word negligible like I did, but that doesn't change what we can see with our own eyes and hear with our own ears. Quote, during March 1st through December 31st, 2020, state-issued mask mandates applied in 2,313 or 73.6% of the 3,142 U.S. counties. Mask mandates were associated with a 0.5 percentage point decrease in daily COVID-19 case growth rates 1 to 20 days after implementation, and decreases of 1.1, 1.5, 1.7, and 1.8 percentage points 21 to 40 days, 41 to 60 days, 61 to 80 days, and 81 to 100 days, respectively, after implementation. Mask mandates were associated with a 0.7 percent point decrease in daily COVID-19 death growth rates 1 to 20 days after implementation, and decreases of 1.0, 1.4, 1.6, and 1.9 percentage points 21 to 40 days, 41 to 60 days, 61 to 80 days, and 81 to 100 days, respectively, after implementation. Daily case and death growth rates before implementation of mask mandates were not statistically different from the reference period, unquote. Am I crazy for thinking that difference is negligible? I mean, I'm just following the science. The bottom line is that I've told you all of that only to
circle back,
around to my main points. One, I don't care who the president is, unless there's a legitimate threat to my health that didn't already exist before we were involuntarily plunged into economic and mental health crises. I will celebrate every holiday the exact way I want to. Don't tell me that I'm going to need a vaccine passport to travel anywhere outside my state when you're also the same people who want to get rid of voter ID laws. If I don't need an ID to vote, then I don't need a passport to travel within my own country, of which I am a citizen. And two, the elitist media can trot out whatever numbers they like. We all know that the number of deaths they constantly report are questionable, and you can't blame them for doing it, really. They were the ones who kept telling us that if we didn't comply with the government, 2.2 million Americans would be dead by last October. Well, we're over 500,000, maybe, and each death is horrible. I don't want anyone to die who isn't verifiably guilty of heinous crimes like murder or rape. But let's get real here, folks. It's way past time to get back to the old normal. So am I off my rocker? Am I making sense to anyone out there? Were these things that needed to be said? If you were lucky enough to even see this video, let me know in the comments, where I do read most and reply to some. And remember to subscribe to our Rumble channel and follow us on Clapper. If you like this video, don't forget to share it, comment, and give it a thumbs up. Those are the best ways to let us know that you want us to keep these videos coming. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that YouTube might actually let you know when MRC TV comes out with a new video if they haven't censored it or taken it down yet. Like MRC TV's page and my page on Facebook. Both links will be in the description. And please check out more of our work at mrctv.org. For MRC TV, I'm Nick Kangadis.